I think we've all been there, right? Where we're stressing out, overthinking, maybe even holding back because we're worried about what other people might think of us or how they might react. If that sounds familiar to you, maybe you should hang out for a minute because today we're going to be talking about why it's so important to let that go and to be unapologetically you. Hi, and welcome back to Mindset Mastery. I'm Corey Hirsch, and I'm so glad you're here. Today, we're going to talk about something that so many of us struggle with, and that is people pleasing and worrying about what other people think. Let's talk about people pleasing for a minute. It's pretty exhausting, isn't it? I mean, you're always trying to make sure that everybody else is happy, but at what cost? Your happiness? Your sanity? Your time? When we're constantly bending over backwards to please others, we lose sight of who we are. It's like we're wearing this mask to make people like us, but underneath it, we're feeling drained, anxious, and even resentful. And if we're really honest with ourselves, we'll admit that people pleasing doesn't even work most of the time. You can't please everyone, and trying to just leaves you feeling invisible. You're saying yes when you want to say no, or you're staying quiet when something really bothers you. It's not fair to you, and honestly, it's not fair to the other people either, because they're not getting the real you. For many of us, we people please because we're trying to avoid conflict, or we're avoiding some kind of reaction from the other person. Okay, so let's talk about why sometimes people react badly when you start being more honest, setting boundaries, or even saying no. Here's the thing, they're just not used to it. If you've always gone along with their plans and said yes to everything, the moment you switch it up and say no or express your real opinion, it's going to catch them off guard. It's not that they're bad people or that they don't care about you. It's just that they're not used to you speaking up for yourself. Sometimes they might push back because they're used to things being a certain way. And that's okay. Their reaction is about them adjusting. It's not a reflection of whether or not you're doing the right thing for yourself. So I'm suggesting that you show up in an authentic way. But what does the word authentic really even mean? For me, being authentic is about being real with yourself and with the people around you. It's about living in a way that feels true to who you are, instead of trying to fit into someone else's idea of what you should be. When you're authentic, you're not worrying about whether or not you'll get someone else's approval. You're just you. And honestly, it's such a relief not to have to put on that act anymore. You're free to say what you think, do what you love, and protect your energy without guilt. When you're authentic, you'll stop feeling guilty, anxious, and resentful towards others because you won't be abandoning yourself on behalf of others' needs. You'll be building a life that's yours and not built on a foundation of fear or obligation. So how do we actually stop worrying about what other people think? It starts with really understanding who you are and what your values are. What's important to you? Who do you look up to and why? What qualities do they have that you can emulate? Once you have an idea of values that are important to you, you can pause and ask yourself, if I make this choice, will I be true to myself and my values? Does it feel right? If the answer is yes, then go for it with no apologies and no guilt. Let's say you've decided to take better care of your mental health. Maybe that means saying no to extra work or skipping an event that doesn't feel right for you. Some people might not like it and they may push back or try to make you feel guilty. But you know what? Their reaction is their problem to solve. You're doing what's best for you, and that's what really matters. The early stages of speaking up for yourself might be met with feedback from others, but over time, they will adjust if you stand firm. Here's something you can try the next time you're worried about how someone will react when you take care of yourself. Pause for a moment, take 3 deep breaths, and then ask yourself these 2 questions. Are you being honest and kind in what you're saying or doing? And are you staying true to your values? If the answer is yes to both of those questions, then remind yourself that other people's reactions are not your responsibility. The more you practice this, the easier it will get to let go of the fear of judgment. Look, being authentic isn't always easy, and sometimes it takes guts to face criticism or rejection. But here's the thing, your worth is not based on what others think of you. The people who really care about you will love and respect you just the way you are. So here's my challenge for you. Take one small step today to live more authentically. Maybe it's saying no to something you don't want to do or speaking up about something that matters to you. Whatever it is, just go for it. Showing up authentically takes practice, but gets easier with time. If this video resonated with you, hit that thumbs up button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe to Mindset Mastery for more content like this. Remember, the world needs your unique light, so shine unapologetically. Until next time, take care and stay true to you.